Oh, hello. Welcome to our sea view cabin. Come on in. So we thought we'd show you around. We have never had a sea view cabin before. What does sea view mean? It means we just have a window, so there's no balcony on this cabin. So we're on deck 5. We're in 5286Z. I'm glad I remembered that. It's actually the exact same size as a regular sea terrace cabin. You just don't have the terrace. But we've kind of liked it. There's just one thing we haven't liked about this cabin. We'll tell you that in just a minute. So the bathroom is exactly the same kind of layout that you'll have in a regular sea terrace cabin. So just the shower's pretty, decent size. It's nice and tall for tall people. Decent amount of counter space. And of course, regular toilets, space, stuff like that. So in here, so you've got some closet space. They did bring us extra hangers. You can ask for extra hangers if you want. There's a shelf up here and some little cubbies down here for shoes and whatever you want to put in there. In here, we've got a safe. There's your life jackets and lots of, space, drawers, things like that. And we did get one little basket, to kind of put whatever you want in the basket. There's also a full-length mirror on the other side of this door. Hi. And then when you come in, there's going to be a couple hooks that will stay right here on this. This is going to be your fridge. The fridge doesn't come with anything. That's just a regular fridge. So you're always going to have water in your cabin. They'll always replenish this like every day. And then you get glasses too. So you get a phone and then plugs. Let's talk about plugs for a minute. So here on the desk we have a regular US plug. We have 2 USBs, another US plug, and then a European plug right here. So we just bring this little plug adapter that's got American plugs and then USB-C and then a regular USB. And plug that bad boy in right here. Just one thing to mention, on these cabins there's no plug in the bathroom. So the hair dryer, they give you a hair dryer. It's got a regular US plug on it. Just so you know. You can bring your own hair dryer too if you want to. And then room temperature controls are going to be right here if you want to make it warmer or cooler.
And on the pad.
Yeah, and on the iPad too. So we've got another full-length mirror here, so you and your travel partner can both look at each other full length if you want. We like to bring these magnetic hooks. These walls are all metal. So you can bring your own magnetic hooks to hang extra stuff. You can get these on Amazon for pretty cheap. A little table. You can move this guy around. We had it last night we had ordered dinner in our cabin. We like to bring a travel clock. This guy actually projects on the ceiling. So you can just lay in bed and see what time it is. Do I have to get out of bed? And then this, if you have a configuration where you want 2 single beds, this side will actually come out here. This is the platform if you want another bed to come out this way. And there is a drawer underneath here. If you want to, I store my stuff in the drawer. And then there's plugs over here also. There's a regular US plug and then 2 USB plugs on this side. These little things do light up if you need more light. And then there's a little bench right here and some more little storage cubbies. I feel like in these cabins there's a whole lot of storage. More than, what we ever need. And then you have your television. And then, what is this?
It's lights.
Oh.
I think it's for the curtains. Yep.
Curtain controls. I've never seen that before.
Well, you can open the curtains 3 ways.
Yes.
With that, you can pull on them. They open if you just give them a little force.
Which is cool.
And then the pad.
Yeah. So this actually has a little seat if you want to sit here and gaze out the window, like, oh, there's, you know, you can sit there if you want to. And then there are more light controls back here and more plugs. So one more US plug and 2 USB plugs.
Yep.
So what we do is usually this room control iPad, it's usually over there by the lamp, but we like to move it to over here on this side of the table, just so it's easier to like turn the lights on in the morning, things like that.
And the TV.
And the TV.
And the room control.
Yeah. And then there's a little table-y thing right here. These are also our hooks that we brought. I'm going to tell you about the one thing about this cabin that was kind of like, it's not that we didn't like it, it was just a little bit bothersome. Since we are on deck 5, we are right below the casino. Between 3:30 and 4:30 a.m. every single day, we hear them doing something in the like cash cage upstairs in the casino. So like they're either moving mounds of cash or something. It's not, but it's like stuff that they're moving around. You can hear it. It's about an hour.
No, it's only like 30 minutes.
Is it like?
Yeah, it's like from 3:30 to 4.
Okay, so it's like from 3:30 to 4 every day. They're moving carts or drawers or some sort of stuff that we can hear. It's probably just for this cabin specifically. I bet you if you're like 2 or 3 cabins down the hall or up that way, you probably don't hear much. But for this cabin, we have heard, it sounds like people opening and closing drawers like for 30 minutes.
Like someone's unpacking, basically.
Yeah, basically.
It sounds like someone's unpacking and they're rolling their luggage.
And they're not being quiet about it.
They're not being quiet about it.
Yeah.
So, but you know what?
But
you got used to it. So.
You know, and if you're a heavy sleeper, it's not going to bother you at all. I actually didn't hear it at all last night. I heard it the first 2 or 3 nights that we were in this cabin. Otherwise,
this cabin's great.
It's great.
Love this cabin.
We have. It's so close to Sailor Services. It's so close to
the forward elevators.
Forward elevators. It's just right around the corner. Restaurants, bars. It's so easy to get to anything.
Okay, so when we booked this cruise, we booked it as a lock-it-in rate on the inside cabin. And what that is it gives you a cheaper price for lock it in, and it just guarantees you an inside cabin. That's all it guarantees you.
Right. So lock it in is basically what Virgin Voyages calls a guaranteed cabin. You'll see that on a lot of other cruise lines. So they guarantee you at least that level cabin, if not higher.
Right. They're not promising you anything, but they guarantee you an inside cabin.
Right. So we booked a lock it in insider, thinking that's fine. You know, insider cabin's going to be fine, and they actually upgraded us
to the sea view.
To the sea view.
Right.
So,
and believe it or not, sea view cabin is almost the same price as regular
with
sea
the
terrace.
Sea terrace.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. But
I can understand kind of why, because this is actually a bigger room, I think, than the sea terrace.
Yeah, I don't know about square footage size. If I can find it somewhere, I'll put it in.
I think they say it's the same, but it just, the configuration of it just seems like it's got more room.
It feels really nice and spacious in here. Like, it hasn't felt cramped. Usually there's a chair in the corner over there where my luggage is sitting, but I just used it for luggage storage, and we haven't really minded not having a chair over there at all. So we've really enjoyed having this cabin, I think.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I noticed most about this cabin is usually when you come into port and they do the thrusters, if you're higher up, you really notice it. You feel the vibrations.
Yeah.
You hear the noise.
And we haven't felt that at all.
No, they came into Bimini this morning, and I was up and awake, and I was just like, wow, that was the quietest I've ever came into port.
Yeah, and as far as like movement of the ship, there has been one day where we felt just a little bit. It wasn't nearly what you would have experienced either like aft or up higher or anything like that.
Right.
Just barely a little bit.
It wasn't much movement at all.
One night we did hear a little bit of creaky.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's kind of just like, have you ever walked on a wooden floor and it's like creaked? That's kind of what it sounded like.
Yeah, but when the ship flexes like that.
It wasn't bothersome at all. Like, I've barely felt any kind of movement, you know.
Right.
We haven't had really rough weather either, but just so you know, the lower you are typically, the less movement that you feel on the ship if it is rough.
Right. And the only thing about the lock-it-in rate that's little is you cannot bid on upgrades.
Exactly. Yeah. So they'll even still send you emails like, oh, bid on the upgrade, bid on the upgrade. They just blast that out to everybody that's booked on the cruise. If you go onto the website and you put in your cabin, or if you put in your confirmation number, it'll actually tell you if you're eligible to bid on an upgrade. And lock-it-in rates, they can't do that.
No, because if you pay a cheaper price, you get what you get.
Yep, you get what you get, which is, you know.
And we were happy. We got what we wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been just as happy with an inside cabin. I don't care.
Right.
But this was, I've always wanted one of the sea views, and this is a sea view, and I love it. I think it's
Yeah,
great.
we've actually really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it was significantly cheaper than a regular sea terrace, I wouldn't have a problem booking a sea view all the time.
No, I wouldn't either.
Because there are plenty of places outside that you can go sit out on the deck and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's going to do it for this.
yeah, that is going to do it for our lock-it-in rate sea view cabin. So if you have enjoyed this video, we really, really would appreciate it if you gave us a thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It really does help us out a lot. And hit the notification bell so that you do know when we post.
Bing, bing.
All right, and we will see you guys next time.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
And see you later.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.